last month I went to with my judge and dad to Washington D.C. and I did it another time. Here's stuff we did. My favorite memorial, the Lincoln Memorial, was built in 1922. The statue stands 19 feet tall. The Washington Monument, 555 feet tall. They ran out of money in 1854 and weren't able to complete it until 1885. That's why there's two different colors. The Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial didn't open until 2011. It represents one of his quotes. Every president except the first one has lived in the White House. There's 132 rooms. Wow, that's a lot. In the War of 1812, the British burned down the White House. In 1865, at Fort Sumter, the president was assassinated. That was President Abraham Lincoln by John Wilkes Booth. The play that they were watching was Our American Cousin. The Arlington Cemetery has over 400,000 people buried there, along with two presidents, Taft and Kennedy. The property was once owned by Robert E. Lee. The tomb of President Kennedy has an eternal flame that is always lit. The tomb of the unknown soldier actually has 3 soldiers. One from World War I, one from World War II, and one from Korea War. There used to be a 4th, but in 1998 he was identified and went back to his hometown and he's from Vietnam. The tomb has been guarded ever since July 2nd, which is today, 1937. There's a star behind our tour guide, and it used to be the center of the city, but now it's not. And there's a tomb underneath because they were originally gonna put George Washington in the tomb, but then his family said no. And other places we did include the Holocaust Museum, and the World War II Memorial, and the zoo to see some pandas because my dad really wanted to, and the Supreme Court because my judge is a lawyer. These are some of Thomas Jefferson's actual books in the Library of Congress. Really cool picture under the Capitol. Nerding it up in the U.S. Capitol! Figure out where to go on the subway. Horses statue for my mom. The Jefferson Memorial, my leg. The FDR Memorial and his dog. Thanks for listening to my DC trip review.